either side of this. I don't know. I don't even know. Oh god, it's one of them days, isn't it? I don't even know if we've got space or time to put the well, we've got time, right? But I don't know if we've got space or time to put the I don't even know what I'm saying. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. Welcome back. We're going to do a nice big painting today. Now, this is a very long canvas. Okay, I think it's about 10 inch wide by about 24 inch tall, and it's quite narrow. And I think we're going to paint a nice big waterfall, a tropical waterfall, I think, with a rainbow all going to plan. Go to the top in a thin layer of linseed oil and a little bit of white, but it's got a little bit of a blue tint in there. I think the brush was slightly dirty. Naughty Daniel, okay, but still, it won't matter too much because we're going to put a bit of blue up there now. So a bit of blue and some more white and a touch of red just to tone it down a little bit, and we'll just put in a little sky, okay. Not much of a sky, not much of anything up here, okay. Just a tiny little bit, okay. And you don't want much oil up here either, okay. Just enough to just move the colour around. I think that's about as far as we're going to get with that. Okay, I'm just going to take a blender brush and just tease these together so it'll pick some of that blue up and get a little bit bluer down at the horizon and in the parts where we've skipped where we've skipped and missed. Yeah, just something like about something there, like that. Now it's too tall and the lights are glaring, so whatever the sky looks like, it'll have to do. It'll have to do. I can't see to change it until I go back. Right, so on that fan brush, I'm just going to place in so this is just the sky colour that we've got. A few distant little hills. Okay, don't want a great deal going off up here. We want something to give the backdrop that we're high up, or we've got something going on up here. So just tinker with those little hills and just put them in maybe there, like so. Okay. See, it's good. I've got it in my mind that it's going to be a jungly scene, but it could quite easily turn into a North Yorkshire scene, or somewhere in North America, something like that. We've got a little bit of a hill action going on just up there, and I'm just going to take that blender brush again and just smudge the base of this and just tone everything down a little bit with a bit of blendery action, just like that. There we go. And then just work on the angles, like that. Not too bad. There. Right then. So with a very pale grey colour, I'm just going to map out where some of this waterfall-y action's going to live. So we want some big rocks up here, a bit of a rock face. And I want a big waterfall, crashing waterfall, because I want a lot of mist and steam to create the effect for our rainbow. So I'm just gonna spend a couple of minutes just mapping in, sketching in, whatever we call it. So some waterfall-y action. And then I think there's going to be a boulder about there because it's going to come over down maybe. Right, so I've got in my basic drawing using the oil paints, and I've gone for a nice cool colour which can be swallowed up by the background or by any other layer of paint that we put on there. And all I'm going to do now, so I've got my waterfall, it's coming crashing down, it's going to hit something, going to go a bit deeper, and then we're going to have the waterfall rainbow round about here. Now I've got an indication of a couple of trees, but I don't know what kind of trees I want to put on them. I don't know yet. I'm not 100% sure. I'll say we'll save that for later, whether I'm going to put palm fronds on them or or deciduous leaves or pine whatever's, you know, pine needles will save that forever. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some rocky colours just up here. I don't know if we'll have a bit of grass up there as well. Again, that all depends on where we are in the world. I'm not 100% sure where we will be. But I've gone for a light grey colour, because I want it a little bit far away. Obviously a bit far away than right on top of us. It's going to be hard to paint distance when we're looking at something so big and right when we're right on top of it, but we should be able to make a nice composition. And then a little bit of the same on this side. Go over the sketch. It won't change the flavour of the paint that we're putting on much. And just starts putting in some stony shapes. Right, so I've got all the rocks in place just around the first little waterfall, and I've mixed up a little bit of a grey purpley colour, and I'm just going to come up here and I'm just going to put a little bit of an undercolour. In fact, it's more to the blue than the red side, this. I'm just going to paint in very delicately. There's some nice undertones of this waterfall. Now, you don't want to cover all the white, but at the same time you want an adequate amount of paint just to give you something to highlight. Water rushing off this big old waterfall here is gonna be quite white and just a complete steep drop. Okay, I'm gonna just wiped off the excess paint down here just with an old rag, and I'm just gonna put on a very soft brush now, just a little bit titanium white, and I'm gonna go over this. I'm gonna create lots of steam again. I'm going again, aren't I, with steam? What is it? I must be dreaming of a cup of tea. Yeah. I'm going to go over this with some mist just down at the base of this big waterfall, just down here, like so. But you don't want to be making mud or going too crazy. Just want the indication of something blended out down here, like so, nice and soft. And I'm just twirling now around the edges of these stones just to give it a little bit of misty murkiness, just like that. And then we're going to have this big waterfall coming off there with the same thing again. Down here, not too fast. Alright, so I'm just making a nice dark grey purpley colour, and we're going to have the water come straight down here, but on top of this lot I think we're going to have something in the way of stone, so we'll just put some stones in there, something like that. Maybe comes over. I don't know where the water's going to be just yet. I don't know, maybe something like that, and then straight over there. I don't know yet. But we'll just put some stony things in just here, and we'll highlight those, and maybe there's a bit of grass there, potentially something for some grass. But we'll just put some stones in here. A little bit of a different colour to the background, but not too dissimilar to the background when we highlight it and everything. So we'll just add some stones in like that, and maybe there's a bit of a cliff face here. How's it gonna look? We don't know until we start painting, right? We don't know until we start painting. And then same on this side. So I think we're going to have some trees and things here, but I don't know what kind of trees just yet. So we'll get some of this background stuff in. Then with a bit of dark umber and black, I'm just picking out some of these stony shapes, some of the shadow parts of the stones just around here. Okay, I've put in the water, a little bit of the water as well. We may come back and tinker with that another time, but I don't know really how far this is going to go. I don't know how it's going to go. I imagined it was going to go something different, but it's changed again. You know me, I like to change things mid-flow. But yeah, just a bit of dark black and umber, pick out the shadow areas of some of these rocks on this rock face. Again, this looks completely different to the rocks that are up there, so we've got to tie it all together with a bit of highlight. So how we're going to do that, you'll possibly grab some of this, get a bit of umber, white, yellow ochre on a filbert brush. Okay, and then we'll just start here and then just put in some highlights just on there. I don't know if you can see that. Don't want much just yet. Again, we can always lighten this if we need to. But the blue colour that's already down is a nice mid-tone shadowy colour. Yeah, like so. And on this one out there, a bit brighter, that one. Maybe get a bit more sun. Okay, I think we're going to have a bit of land or grass or something just down here. Well, we'll probably have to put some shadowy stuff underneath there. This is just black and yellow, various proportions, and a little bit of umber as well. I think we're going to have a tree just somewhere about there. Don't know what tree yet. That's still in the head. And I think we'll have a tree at this side as well. It's about there. Same thing again. A bit of black and a bit of yellow. Just put down there. Just so we've got a bit of something for this tree to live on. Or not. And then we can paint some roots coming over the waterfall on here. Regardless what tree it's going to be, it's going to need some roots putting in. Okay, but we'll get onto the trees in a bit, but I just put a little bit of an indication there, then I don't have to paint the stones and then all of a sudden paint straight over the top with a tree. I can paint around the tree, and we definitely need something up here in this misty area, but what, I don't know. I think could live there, maybe something else there. That's 4 trees in. We'll probably paint another something there. Could do it. Baby tree perhaps. And if we don't like it, we can come back and change it. That's the beautiful thing about oil painting. We can just change our mind mid-flow as well. We might put some up there, some little tiny trees up there. Don't know yet. Don't know. Just added a bit of red to the mix, the stony colour mix. I'm just putting the indication of some little pinky bits. Maybe a bit too much there. But we'll see what it looks like from far away. Just want different coloured stones, really. I don't want too much of the same colour. So the more colours you've got in your stonework, if you pick up a pebble and look at the pebble, there's lots of different shades of grey, lots of different shades of blues, and different colours in there. So I just want the same thing with some of these stones, just a little bit of different colour. And because we're quite close now, we can use a bit more of the red. Just add it on there, building up various colours, very gently, very carefully. Gone a bit too crazy with the white on this one, but that's all right. That's all right. That won't be practice stone. So we haven't highlighted half of these yet. We'll just put a secondary highlight on here and there. All right, let's put a little bit of highlight on some of these rocks. Now look at the amount of paint I have got in this paintbrush. Absolutely tons. And this is just white and a little bit of that yellow and a bit of cad yellow thrown in there as well. And we're just going to put, and we can come back in here even lighter still. You need lots of paint for this, lots of paint on there. I'm not going to go overboard. I'm going to go overboard on this. He says putting a big dollop on. Still don't know where the tree's going to go in that part there, but we'll figure that out. We'll figure that out. Maybe there's a big root coming down this crack. I don't know. It looks just natural, that, and maybe this tree might go a little bit further up into the sky. Just break that edge up. So I've got a very dark brown colour. I'm just going to plough it in there and take it down like that. And you probably can't tell now where it is. It's running down there like so. Gnarly tree, so possibly going to be some kind of deciduous one, and a little tiny one maybe just living there like that. Maybe it's just an extension of him or her like that. But do it, we will. Okay, so I'm just taking a lot of green and black and on this filbert brush, and I'm just going to plonk it. Now it's going to be easier up here to put in some form of leaf right up into the sky. Oh, you can see that. Let's join them up. Maybe down there like that. Maybe there's something in here as well. And then there's going to be a tiny touch on top of these old twiggly looking ones. There. Right, with the paint all built up on these leaves, I'm just going to very delicately tap now. Just with an old rag. Be careful there, there's a bit of white. Okay. Just delicately tap and just try and draw that excess paint out of there. And be careful you don't smudge your rocks or anything like that. There we go. Should be getting there. We can come back and highlight some of these. It's looking quite oriental, I think. I don't know where we're going with this one now. I really don't. Kind of crazy. Right, let's grab the palette, get rid of the rags, find a brush which has got no paint on it. Look at the paint that's actually on this brush. Lots and lots of paint. I'm just going to pick out a few highlights just here, just with a little yellow. I'm painting basically with a blob of yellow paint. I'm not really painting with the bristles at all. Just a couple of little yellowy highlights just right on the edge. Remember, the light's coming straight at us it's split either side, so I'm going to have highlights on either side of this tree, either side of this. Well, I don't know. I don't even know. Oh god, it's one of them days, isn't it? I don't even know if we've got space or time to put the we've got time, right? But I don't know if we've got space or time to put the I don't even know what I'm saying. Don't even know what I'm saying anymore. I'm not sure if we're going to get a rainbow in here or not. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Okay, I'm going to take the soft, rounded, blendery brush. And now with all this okay, might need to finish out some little details later on. I'm just going to dab it in to some titanium white, and I'm just going to start adding some mist round here. By the size of the trees, which gives the painting some scale, especially these little tiny ones up there. This is one massive cliff face. So when this water drops down here, it's going to create all kinds of churny, misty doofery-doos down here. So I'm just going to tap into here, go over the rocks. This brush is so soft and delicate, you can do that. And we'll sort of like paint the mist in and the foam and whatever else down here, and then we'll come back and finish off the water. And I don't know what we're going to have down here, maybe a bit of a bank. So we're stood on this looking at this beautiful view. Now all I've done down here is taken some of these colours that's up there and just gone straight across with a brush, not really paying much detail or attention to this. I know sometimes we pull straight down, don't we, and then gently across. But there we go. Just adding some rocks down here, just a little bit of something. This is mainly blue and a bit of umber, a bit of black. Just in here, we'll highlight them just like we did with the big stones on the side. Like that. Down at the base, I'm just adding some grasses, and I put an under painting on of like yellows and blacks and greens, mushed them all together with a fan brush, and then I've just taken this script liner brush and just creating lots of different blades of grass, various colours, browns, greens, yellows, blacks. You can put some old pods or flowers or whatever. In fact, I might do that. I might put a couple of red flowers down here as well. See what happens. Get some red. I'm just going to put a couple of little dots of red in there every now and again, not too many. I want to go overboard, but just here and there, a couple of little red flowers. Maybe change the flavour again, some magenta. Put a couple of them in there. I like it. A couple of magenta little flowers down there. And I think we're about finished. Wow. Now, being on a long, thin canvas, that certainly is a challenge. It doesn't give you scope to move around the canvas, but it is certainly enjoyable. If you've liked this video, give me an old big thumbs up. Leave me a nice comment as well. Let me know if you want me to put a rainbow in this. I don't think we've got space personally, but if you want me to squeeze one in, I'll try and squeeze one in. Okay, subscribe to the channel if you've not done so already. And until next time, take care of yourself. Stay safe. Happy days.